Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss Alien 3. Came out May 22nd, 92. Takes place in the year 2179. Directed by David Fincher. Starring Sigourney Weaver. She's a co-producer on this film. I don't think she's a co-producer on the second film. I don't remember, to be honest. Now, I'm going to lead off with this and saying how embarrassed I am of being quite frequent in the meme world, right? And we talked about how I had no idea that Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger's arms in Predator was the meme template for that, arms meme that everybody knows and loves. And then there's the Sigourney Weaver and Xenomorph meme of like someone forcing an opinion on someone, and she's, cringing in front of like a tiled wall, and the Xenomorph head is right at her, and she's like, and I knew it's from an Alien movie, right? Obviously, but like had no idea which Alien movie. It is from this Alien movie. It's from Alien 3. So this takes place in 2179, right? The last film, Aliens, written by directed by James Cameron, takes place in 2179. So this is directly after the events of James Cameron's Aliens. This film came out in 92. David Fincher did this. This is before Fight Club, and that was like, everybody knows David Fincher as Fight Club. But Alien 3 gets a lot of crap, and I don't know why, because it's really good. It's a tonal shift, so there's a lot of action, adventure, thriller, mechanical stuff in Aliens, right? And we see a lot of xenomorphs, and we have the introduction of the alien queen, and this is very subdued. Alien 3 is very subdued. So we have Ripley, Newt, the remnants of Bishop the android, and I forget the other guy's name. I forget the colonel's name. But the four of them are in an escape pod, getting away from that colony, right? Hoping they're going to get intercepted soon. So turns out that there was a xenomorph egg, a facehugger egg, on the escape pod with them, and a facehugger got out. It caused some how did this happen exactly? Somehow it gets into Ripley's pod and attaches itself to her, but we don't know this until like kind of the end, kind of the middle-ish. No, definitely the middle. But the facehugger gets injured at some point, and then its acid blood seeps into the pod and then causes an electrical fire, and the electrical fire is what causes absolute chaos. And then the pods themselves, the cryopods in one unit, are ejected from the escape pod, and then they eventually crash land on this planet. It's kind of a desolate planet, but it's used as like a lead mining facility, and it was once housed to over 5,000 inmates. It's like a maximum security prison, but it's like a work prison. But there's only 25 people there now because it was, I don't know, too expensive to run. I forgot what they said. But now it's just a ghost crew running the lead refinery, whatever. So Ripley's the only one that survives. Newt apparently drowns in the pod. The colonel gets impaled through the head. Bishop is just damaged beyond repair. But Ripley is fine. So Ripley is then concerned after she sees the burn mark of the acid in the thing that obviously a facehugger was in there, and she thinks that Newt was attacked by a facehugger. So then she forces the medical examiner, who is, what's his name? I don't know his name, but he plays the eldest Lannister in Game of Thrones. So it was weird watching him as a younger age. And then the guy in The Lost World Jurassic Park, whose name is escaping me, he's in this as well. He's the hunter. It's funny seeing people younger that you don't expect to see younger because you're introduced to them old, whatever. So as the story progresses, an autopsy is performed on Newt, and there is no facehugger, there's no xenomorph inside, but it turns out that there happens to be 2 eggs on this escape pod, because another one later then hatches and attaches itself to the dog that is on this planet with everybody else and creates a xenomorph that is mixed with the genes of a dog. So this was an important movie because it shows that the whatever embryo the facehugger implants inside takes on the genetic characteristics of its host. So we had a different type of xenomorph in this film because it attached to a dog, and then we learn after Ripley scans herself, that the xenomorph inside of her is a queen xenomorph, which takes a much longer time to gestate compared to a worker xenomorph. So there's only 2 xenomorphs in this film compared to 50-something that we saw in the last film, compared to the one that we only saw in the first film. It's interesting because it just shows more traits on the xenomorph alien race, the parasitic race that it is. And we only see the queen escaping Ripley's chest at the end, after, you know, the company that wants to keep these xenomorphs and study them comes to quote-unquote save her. But she decides to jump off a ledge into hot molten lead, and the xenomorph escapes while she's falling, and she grabs onto her, and they fall onto the lead together, and thus concludes Ripley's story. Or so we think. So how does Alien Resurrection, which is the next film that we will watch, because we're going chronological. I think Alien Resurrection was 97. I gotta look at my list. I got a list. But this was May 22nd, 92, which takes place in 2179. I had to memorize numbers, too, before we spoke. I don't know why this film doesn't get a lot of credit. Maybe it's because there's a xenomorph dog in this, or like you had all these murderers and rapists and child molesters like having to band together to destroy this xenomorph. I don't know. Like, it's an out there movie, but it's a different tone. It's a tonal shift within the franchise, and I think it's important to have tonal shifts within a franchise so you see different aspects of this expanded universe. So I liked it. I liked Alien 3. I bring dishonor to my cow because I didn't know that the Alien template is from Alien 3. The mean Alien template is from Alien 3, but now I know. And now we all know. So that's great. On to the next film. Mucho mahalo.